very pissed at myself for not really going to sleep despite feeling the sleepiest that I ever feel. Today I slept for exactly 5 hours and I essentially spent the whole day working. And I hung out a little bit with a few of my friends, and essentially, you can guess how tired I am right now. It's 2 in the morning, almost. But then again, I'm compulsively, in a sense, using my phone, using my devices as if I get paid to do this. I don't get paid to use my phone. I don't get paid to use anything on this planet. Sure, I might earn some money if I try to do some work, but this isn't that. This isn't that at all. This is just me using my phone or my devices compulsively despite having a body that is screaming for sleep, that is screaming for rest. And I'm not giving it that. It's kind of like I've become a masochist of some kind, although I am not that. But then again, this is. You can see my. I think you can guess with my eyes. They look absolutely cooked. They look like as if I'm going to fall asleep at any moment right now. And I have no idea why I'm making this video either. But I put this out as a rant because why not? So, this has been a pattern that has been repeating for a multitude of times, and I see that I do not sleep despite having the biggest urges to sleep. I just keep continually using my phone, using my laptop, using anything that I have at hand, and essentially that's it. Two hypothetical reasons why this might happen to me or why I keep continuing to do this. Number one is not being completely conscious of whatever it is that I'm doing. So, not being conscious is essentially the idea here. So, if I'm not conscious of my actions, even if I'm sleepy or not, I'm going to essentially be deluded and taken to a way which I probably might not have chosen if I had a sane mind that was conscious. That is number one. Number two, I'm trying to fill a void. I have no idea of what void this is, but I believe I'm trying to fill a void that sleep alone might not be able to fix. This is bit more, a much deeper consideration to have, if I'm being honest, because if I am to actually confront the situation where I see that I have to fill up a void of some kind, then the question becomes that what is the void that I'm trying to fill up? I still have no idea what I'm trying to fill up, but then again, it's something that I'll probably know as I go forward. This video is probably just going to be like something I post out there in the Wild West, which is definitely not gonna get any attraction. But then again, it's just something that I'm wanting to put out there in the world because really nobody gives a shit of what I post on the internet right now. Maybe someday in the future, but not right now. So, since there is no problem whatsoever of me saying whatever the hell that I want, I can say whatever the hell that I want. I have everything in mind on what to say. So, coming back to the topic of essence, two things. One is filling the void, two is essentially not being conscious of my actions. So, combined, this is a much deadlier effect. This has a much deadlier effect, or in general, much deadlier after effects than either one single handedly single outed. Okay, how might I be able to solve this problem? Actually follow routine. But then again, there comes the question: would I want to follow a routine if I already didn't have the proper mindset or the proper identity fixation in first place. So if I feel like my identity is not aligned with my actions or my routine, then that isn't gonna stick for long. If I still think that I'm someone who does not know how to maintain a routine, then no matter what I do, I will never be able to actually adhere to any routine. Same case with any action in life. If you do not have that identity shift, you do not have any change in the first place. All change is identity change. If you're able to change your identity, you're able to change your actions, you're able to change your future, and of course, you're able to change yourself as a person in both the short term and the long term. So, what does this even mean? How do you have an identity shift? You just act well enough to have this in mind, that you have to take actions of the sort that is going to take you to heights, that is going to make you achieve your goals. Again, I'm not gonna get into the batshit crazy things about what is a goal or like what goals you should achieve. Your goal could be anything, but then again, if your identity is not aligned with your goals, then you're never gonna achieve your goals. You're just going to achieve your identity. That's the idea here. Since that is the idea here, what I think must be done is that I must shift identities. And how does one shift identities? Absorb more information about that exact identity that you want to adopt. Two is act according to that identity as if you are that person already. So it's the principle that if you want to be fit, you have to act like a fit person. So, like, you will have a better diet, you will have a better workout regimen, you will have a better lifestyle in general in order to have a chiseled, better body, right? So, in that sense, even if you don't have that, you're going to act as if you have that. And that essentially is going to produce that identity change. And in general, if you want someone to be with you, if you want someone who cherishes you, you're going to have to live like as if they're already there. You cannot wait for the perfect person and then start to act right. You're going to have to act right from the get go. So, if you act right from day one, you will eventually attract the type of person that you want at the end of the day. And again, that is identity change. So, with your actions, you're going to have to prove yourself like that. And finally, the third thing that is going to cause this identity shift is basically being consistent. If you be consistent with your actions and your intentions alongside the constant information hoarding about the future identity that you want to have, actually, you're going to have to believe that you have that identity already, but you're going to have to ingest information regarding that personality, regarding that persona, in order to actually internalize it. And that's the core goal here. Three things: you ingest information about the desired persona that you want to have, you take action accordingly as if you are that person already, while believing that you are that person already, basically the trait that you want to achieve. And thirdly, being consistent. So, like, if I go to sleep right now, I am still that late sleeper you can think of. I don't have an amazing sleep schedule. But if I go to sleep an hour earlier every single day, or like consistently 5 to 6 times a week, then I can most definitely say that I have had an identity shift. All identity shift is no, all change in humans is identity shifts. So without an identity shift, you will never change. If you feel like you are a loser, you are going to stay a loser even if you have the most sophisticated workout routine, even if you have the best wake up times and sleeping times, even if you have the best hormones in the body that one person can have, and even if you have all the food in the world while having all the nutrients in the world to keep your brain sharp, and so on and so forth. Basically, all change is identity change, and you can only change once you shift your identity. That's the core message here. Buenas noches.